I would like to thank External Affairs Minister and Secretary, Department of Posts, for gracing today's occasion. Release of the commemorative postage stamp on the 80th anniversary of the United Nations. On behalf of Ministry of External Affairs, I welcome you all to this gathering. I extend my best wishes to member states and UN officials on UN Day. India's commitment to the principles and charter of the UN and multilateralism is well recognized. It is one of the major tenets of our foreign policy. Today is the fifth such release of a postage stamp commemorating UN anniversary. Department of Posts have previously released similar such commemorative postage stamps, including on the 50th and 75th anniversaries. This year, the final design was chosen through an open design competition. I am happy to note that the number of entries received were almost 740,000 from thousands of schools and colleges across the country. I would like to take this opportunity to thank the Department of Posts for its steadfast support and also congratulate all the students who participated in this program. As we celebrate 80 years of the UN, it is also a time for all of us to introspect on the years gone by, as well as the future of the UN. You would all agree that the UN needs to be relevant and in sync with the changes that have taken place since its establishment in 1945. This is an opportune movement to reform structures, restore credibility, and deliver where it matters the most. I once again like to thank External Affairs Minister and Secretary Post for gracing today's event. Thank you to all of you. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. I would now like to welcome Ms. Vandita Kaul, Secretary, Department of Posts, to share a few words with us.
Honorable Minister of External Affairs, Secretary West, MEA, Excellencies, ladies and gentlemen, it is indeed a privilege to join you today as we celebrate 80 years of the United Nations, an institution that has guided the world through challenge and change, reminding us that lasting peace and progress are built on cooperation. As a founding member, India has stood firmly by UN's principles of peace, equality, and human dignity. From peacekeeping to sustainable development, from digital inclusion to humanitarian cooperation, India has always sought to advance the belief that the world is indeed one family. In many ways, the story of India Post mirrors the values of the United Nations. For over 170 years, it has reached every corner of our nation and the world, connecting people, communities, and aspirations. It has evolved with time, embracing technology and new forms of service, but its purpose has remained constant: to bring people closer and make opportunity more accessible. India Post has always shared a meaningful association with the United Nations and all its agencies. Our commemorative issues have celebrated milestones of the UN, honoring its contribution to peace and global cooperation. We have also worked with the United Nations on joint issues that have highlighted what we hold dear: gender equality, cultural understanding, and the life of Mahatma Gandhi. I would also like to take this opportunity to express my gratitude to the Ministry of External Affairs for its continuing support and guidance for India Post's increasing engagement within the Universal Postal Union, a specialized agency of the UN. Through the UPU, India Post is contributing to shaping a more inclusive and connected global postal system with a focus on the Global South. In doing so, we are advancing the UN's Sustainable Development Goals. To mark this occasion, India Post, in collaboration with Ministry of External Affairs of India, invited young Indians to reimagine the ideals of the United Nations. Their creativity and imagination remind us that the vision of peace, sustainability, and partnership continues to inspire the youth of this country. It is indeed befitting that the commemorative postage stamp we release today carries the expression of the youth, a message of hope for the world that continues to believe in unity through diversity. This special UN@80 stamp is a tribute to the enduring ideals of the United Nations and to India's faith in dialogue and multilateralism. As it travels the world, may it carry with it our collective hope that while we may be many nations, our purpose remains one. Let us continue to build bridges between countries, between communities, and most importantly, between hearts. Thank you. Jai Hind.
Thank you for your remarks, ma'am. I would now like to request Dr. S. Jaishankar, External Affairs Minister, to release the commemorative postage stamp on 80 years of the United Nations. He'll be joined by Ms. Vandita Kaul, Secretary, Department of Posts, and Mr. Sibi George, Secretary West, Ministry of External Affairs. We also have a short video commemorating the release of the postage stamp, which will now be played. Thank you, sirs. Thank you, ma'am. I would now like to invite External Affairs Minister Dr. S. Jaishankar to share his thoughts with us.
Secretary Post, Vandita Kaulji, Secretary West, Sibi George, Excellencies, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for joining us this morning, and it's really a great pleasure to see so many of you here. I take it as a statement of our collective attachment to the United Nations on this important anniversary at a time when the world is perhaps passing through somewhat difficult circumstances. It is truly a great pleasure to be with you here on this special occasion as we celebrate the 80th anniversary of the United Nations. As a founding member state of the UN, I extend warm wishes to all present on United Nations Day. Let me begin by congratulating the Department of Sports, Ministry of Communications, for organizing this very successful open competition on MyGov portal to design the commemorative postage stamp celebrating UN@80. As we heard from Secretary West, there were more than 740,000 entries which were received from students of classes 9 to 12 across the country and from arts colleges across India. It must have been a very difficult job to select the winning entry, but I also want to say that the stamp that was selected, which was unveiled a little while ago, certainly depicts the need for peace in this era of conflict. Even today, we are regrettably witnessing multiple major conflicts that not only take a great toll on human lives, but impact the well-being of the entire international community. The Global South, in particular, has felt this pain, even as the more developed insulated themselves from consequences. An 80th anniversary is a significant milestone for any institution. On UN Day, I would like to reiterate India's commitment to the ideals of peace and security, as well as development and progress. India has always been and will continue to be a strong votary of the United Nations and indeed of multilateralism. Our commitment to global peace and security is reflected, amongst others, in our staunch support for peacekeeping, and I'm very glad that the first day cover captures that particular facet as well. We visualize this as a fundamental obligation of a conscientious member. The energies and resources that we have devoted and the sacrifices that our personnel have made certainly ensure that the world is a better place. Significantly, just last week, we hosted a Chiefs of Army Staff conclave in New Delhi, which witnessed participation from 30 troop contributing countries. That said, we must also recognize that all is not well with the United Nations. Its decision making neither reflects its membership nor addresses global priorities. Its debates have become increasingly polarized and its working visibly gridlocked. Any meaningful reform is obstructed using the reform process itself. Now, financial constraints have emerged as an additional concern. How to sustain the UN even while seeking its reinvention is clearly a major challenge before all of us. Few examples are more telling about the challenges facing the UN than its response to terrorism. When a sitting Security Council member openly protects the very organization that claims responsibility for the barbaric terror attack, such as at Pahalgam, what does it do to the credibility of multilateralism? Similarly, if victims and perpetrators of terrorism are equated in the name of global strategy, how much more cynical can the world get? When self-proclaimed terrorists are shielded from the sanctioning process, what does it say for the sincerity of those involved? If the maintenance of international peace and security has become lip service, the predicament of development and socio-economic progress is even more serious. The slowing down of the SDG Agenda 2030 is a significant metric to measure the distress of the global south. There are many more, whether it is trade measures, supply chain dependence, or political domination. Yet, on such a notable anniversary, we cannot abandon hope. However difficult, the commitment to multilateralism must remain strong. However flawed, the United Nations must be supported in this time of crisis. Our faith in international cooperation must be reiterated and indeed renewed. It is in that spirit that we all meet to mark this occasion and seek to build a better world. I thank you again for joining us on this important day, on this important anniversary. And as my colleagues said, I think at the end of the day, what unites us is what is most important. And the fact that we are meeting here today, I think sends a message in itself. Thank you for your attention.